So I was worried that like my teeth were gonna fall out. I've never had that much sugar in my mouth before. Pedro was just behind the camera with like a churro on a stick. He's like, "Come get it, Brittany, come get it!" And I just ran. No, that's why I was running so fast because I was like,
Hi, I'm Kristen Maldonado from Pop Culture Planet. Pedro, it's great to meet you. Brittany, it's good to see you again after the consultant. And EJ, you were actually one of my very first interviews when I was like a baby student journalist for Musical
For
Chairs.
musical chairs.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So
I'm
it's
great.
great to chat with you again, full circle. This movie was wild, and I wanted to start with you, Pedro. You're known for your documentary work, but I wanted to know what it was that made you want to tackle a horror movie through the documentary style lens.
Um, First of all, thank you, Kristen. So excited to talk to you, to meet you, to be here. Thank you for watching the film.
Yeah.
Um, and that's a great question. I didn't know when my dear friend, collaborator, producer of this film, Aaron Cogan, who we made this film together in college, when he brought the script to me many years later, he had developed it with our other amazing producer, Stephen Klein, and uh, Mallory. They brought in Mallory, a genius screenwriter who wrote on Fear of the Walking Dead and Chucky, and um, so when Aaron brought to me and kind of pitched to me before I read it, I was like, I don't know, Aaron, like I'm, I did theater in college, but then I became a documentarian. I was editing and making documentaries. It's like, am I the right person to make a genre film? I love genre films, but I don't know if he's like, no, that's exactly why you're, you know, he said, read the script. Read the script, and I was like, wow, the initial like twist and all that was so cool, and you made me want to go back and kind of reread the script. But at the same time, that exercise in kind of going back and reading and kind of trying to really piecing the puzzle together also made me see the opportunity to do the work that I do as a documentarian, which is kind of look at our world, right? Look at all. This is not, for me, this is not a film about some magical world. It is about our world today with all of the issues and obstacles that we face, a mother and a daughter torn apart by addiction, immigration, the human crisis that we have in our, in our country and in the world, and the humanity that we're not seeing right in front of our eyes in the streets. It was really amazing to see the opportunity, the potential to explore the same issues and the same stories, similar stories that I try to look for in my documentary work in this film, and to see that unseen a life that we're not that we're ignoring, and see the humanity, and kind of draw an eye to the dehumanization that that is happening so often. And so that's what got me really excited to make this film, and that's why I was also wanted to dive in and work with like extraordinary artists like Brittany, like EJ, like Alana, Krisha, and who are such incredible artists and bring so much, so many layers. Brittany, like, just create, like, seeing you create the backstories and like let your imagination go wild, like creating Emily Wyland and all the like, and holding so much at the same time. The strength and the vulnerability, and it's mind blowing. And then EJ, like when you came and like did your audition, basically, Kristen, EJ came on audition and gave us no choice. He was so freaking brilliant, given no choice other than to like cast him in the movie. He
Or
brought
I love what you said about like the commentary that you guys are bringing to life. There were so many scenes where like, maybe Emily is breaking down after, speaking with her mother who's an addict, but then everything took on a whole new meaning after seeing the end of the movie. And I'm like, oh my God, now I see why you needed to read it again, because I need to watch it like three more times to be like, wait, what? So I was curious for you, Brittany, like how you sort of thought through this role, what you were thinking about when it came to bringing this character to life, and how you kind of balanced like what we're seeing versus like the reality of what your character really dealt with.
it was almost like there was like 3 roads in my head. Sorry, that probably sounds psychotic, but it was like, okay, I've got this existence, I've got this existence, and I have this duty. Like there, it was like the intention, who she is, and what is she hiding. It was like those 3, I guess. And Pedro and I talked a lot about Emily's background and the stakes, what physically impacts her, all these little minute details that are a huge part of who she is and why she's so isolated from society and why she doesn't even let Danny in as much as she should. You see how like her friendship develops and the care that she feels for him. It was very collaborative. I feel like this role, every character, I was reflecting, it kind of feels like we're part of an ecosystem or part of a body, and each organ has their different, I don't know, function. But yeah, it was like I just took it in chunks. That's my thing that I do. I take that one moment and consider all those factors and have it kind of marinate in my body for that moment and let it go. And then the next one, let it go. And the next one, let it go. And then you're sitting with this puzzle piece and you're like, oh, this is who she was in this moment with this person or that person. And so it was a great script, a great creative team, and just being a part of that ecosystem, you function because you got to pump blood to that person or cleanse out this part or whatever. I don't know. That was a weird analogy.
No,
Keep
I
going
love
with the
Oh, it works.
it. It
I
works.
who's
know.
the this
In
story
our
more than
blood.
I know. I know. I was thinking, I was like, who is who? I feel like Danny's the heart. I feel like Alana was maybe the brain. Or just like, I don't know. I feel like Emily was the nervous system.
Emily's
And
the soul that's
the soul, maybe, and then Anna's like, I was like, I don't know bodies very well, but I feel like she's that vital organ that if it fails, like you're dead. Is it your liver?
yeah, for
Like she's
sure.
one cleansing out the society. Like I'm like,
There you go.
anyway, that was a lot. That was a
But then,
lot.
EJ, so they mentioned you're the heart of the film, and I feel like your character, yeah, like I agree. Like I feel like you brought this like humanity that we got to see kind of through both your character and Emily's characters, like these very different kind of visions, I guess, of what was going on in the story. So I'd love to hear from your perspective as well.
First of all, I need to compliment you. You're fantastic. You got the proper background. The questions are clear, right? Because you're so confident. You know what you're doing,
Period.
Kristen. Okay.
I appreciate it.
What there are times where Danny gets to be, like when we're watching a film and like, what the fuck are you doing? Why would you do what? And sometimes you're like, why don't they just say that? It would make sense, right? To get to be the guy who calls out, can we acknowledge what the fuck is happening right now? Why? Why are we? You needed that in a film because you don't want your audience to wish that were happening. It makes it more tangible in a more real way, and I love that I get to be a part of that grounding process.
Something I'm always fascinated about with the like horror movies is those like the blood and the props. How did all of that come together? Like, were there actual like creatures on set?
We
Like,
just went for it. We were really close to a bunch of pigs and rats.
That is a great question. And in pre-production, we really sort of like researched and doing sort of the silicone heads and all that, but our kind of our motto in making the film is the real deal in many ways. So everything from the locations are real. So Anna's clinic, that is the organization, the Hooper Center, is actually Community of Hope in Las Cruces, and is the Community of Hope of Mesilla Valley, and they work with they actually do the work that you see them doing in the film, working with the people experiencing homelessness, helping them find housing, also services like rehabilitation services. That is happening there. That encampment is in the back. So like we have this motto is like the real deal.
what did the blood taste like at the end? What is it made out of?
It's Hershey's syrup.
Oh, delicious.
So I was worried that like my teeth were gonna fall out. I've never had that much sugar in my mouth before. There was a lot of that going on.
Too
Did you
My teeth are okay.
Did you eat the churros the day that we filmed the bar scene?
I did.
So
Yeah.
so Brittany had like a total sugar overdose. You know the bar scene.
Mhm.
That's right. I was running so fast because I was like,
There's a yeah, we had like on set catering, there was a churro truck right behind the car. Uh, so I love churros. I'm sorry. It's like they're like I was basically in a food coma, but Brittany had so much sugar because of the blood. You had so much sugar that day. Plus the churros.
Pedro was just behind the camera with like a churro on a stick. He's like, come get it, Brittany, come get it. And I just ran. No.
The way that this film ends, I feel like honestly feels like a beginning. Like you could totally make a whole nother movie of like what's next. I was wondering if you guys had any plans for that, any thoughts for that, or how you would explore you know, these creatures that you've introduced.
I'm
Hmm.
right now. I'm just
Well, first of all, thank you. I think that's very. I mean, we all talked about, you know, the whole team. We've talked about this is a world. I mean, our world, but there's so many layers to explore. Starting with Emily and Sam's backstory, and
Mhm.
so much there to mine, and that relationship, and you know, I would throw it back to you, Kristen. Spread the word, and you know, we would love to keep us. I think there's so much humanity there that to explore and dig in. That I you know that I think we would love to continue telling these stories.
I want to thank you all so much for your time. It was so great speaking with you all. Congratulations and you know, good luck with the film. I'm excited for more people to see it.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Nice
guys.
to see you.
See you again.
Nice to see you.
Miss Maldonado. Well done.
Thank you. Thank you. You too. Consider subscribing if you like this video and get even more entertainment news at popcultureplanet.net. See ya.